Good afternoon, Deerfield. Today is Wednesday, May 26th, and welcome to our virtual town hall. Today, we have three items that we want to communicate, that we want to share with you. The first is, I want to invite you to an in-person town hall next week, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Secondly, Aaron Vetter, our culinary director, will be providing an update on services for Memorial Day, what our culinary program will be doing and serving for Memorial Day, and he also has an update on specials in the bistro. So stay tuned for that. And then finally, we're going to continue our series on Deerfield's Resident Council, today focusing and highlighting on our culinary committee. So first, I want to share with you next week on Wednesday, June 2nd, I want to invite you to an in-person town hall. It's been a while since we've been able to gather together, so I'm looking forward to this, and I'm inviting the entire community, residents from our higher levels of care, their family, and all of our residents, including you, to join us on Wednesday. You'll have two options for the meeting because I expect a lot of residents will want to attend this meeting. So there's two meeting times. The first is in the morning, so that will be at 10:30 a.m. on June 2nd. The second time will be in the afternoon, and that will be at 3:30 p.m. on June 2nd. Both meetings will be in the event center, so plan on joining us at one of those times. It's up to you. Just please show up at one of those times. Next, I'm going to turn it on over to Aaron.
Good afternoon. It is Aaron Vetter, your culinary director. I have a couple of quick announcements coming from culinary department. First, starting this Saturday, May 29th, Hap's Bistro will be open for breakfast from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Monday, the 31st, we're going to honor Memorial Day with a wonderful picnic-style themed menu in our dining room, so be sure to be looking for a menu later this week. We will serve over the lunch period from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. All deliveries that day will be scheduled for 12 noon. Hap's Bistro will be closed, and we will not have evening meal services that day. Also, in the month of June, we're going to go back to offering free ice cream, complimentary ice cream, every Wednesday. That's again starting in June. That's all I have for now. Thank you for the opportunity to continue to serve you.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that update. Looking forward to Memorial Day. We're fortunate to have the talent that we do with our resident council members. And we started a series a few weeks ago with our resident council president, Tom McKenna, introducing the resident council, its purpose, that you really have a voice through the resident council. And we are now going through each of the committees, and today we're very fortunate to have Mary Kramer tell us a little bit about the culinary committee and the role that they have at Deerfield. So turning it over to Mary now.
All right, well, welcome Deerfield residents. Today I'm here with Mary Kramer. She is the committee chair for the culinary committee. Thank you so much for joining us, Mary.
Happy to be here.
And how long have you been part of the, as the chair of the culinary committee?
I think probably close to 2 years now.
Great. What is the major role of the culinary committee?
I think the culinary committee members need to be the best listeners because we need to know how residents are feeling about their food. The food service is so important, such an important part of our life here. And it's an important part in all levels of care because the kitchen produces what is needed for the advanced care levels, but then it's expected to present a very high level of cuisine for independent living residents, a white tablecloth dining room, if you will. So it's important for us to listen to what residents are thinking and saying and what suggestions they're making. So residents are the members of the committee are very good about identifying themselves, so they're able to talk to a big mix of people. And we have 10 members now, and they're very mixed. They have lunch people and townhouse people and dinner people, etc. So we have a mix.
Yeah. And how many, you said you have 10 resident members. Do you have team members that also
Yes.
join you for your committee as well?
Yes. When Matt was here, he was our representative, and often Aaron, as executive chef, would come with him. Now we have Aaron, and he is. I must say that this culinary staff is the most capable of hearing constructive criticism, acting on it. They seek it, they want it, and so part of the committee members' task is to be sure that we're keeping them in tune with what residents are thinking and saying.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important to take that and use that to make it the best dining experience possible.
Yes,
That's
and
their goal.
it's very, very, very good. But I used to work for a gentleman who said the danger of being good is you don't try to get better. So we operate on the continuous improvement idea.
Yep, I think that's a great. And speaking of that, how is your committee involved in enhancing the dining experience here at Deerfield?
They have great ideas, and often, for instance, we notice that there's about a third of residents are still a little bit careful about coming to the dining room. And so what can we do to help with that? So I think we're going to institute a table where hosts will know that if you come down by yourself with no reservation, that's where you're welcome, and you'll find friends and other people who are in that same situation. And so you're not breaking into somebody else's party, but you have your own place, which is very comfortable. So, because I think I forget to make reservations, and I suspect others do too. So we'll see how that works out. But that bothered us, that we're still missing people in the dining room, and it's so important to our social lives that we gather together and talk to each other and enjoy one another's company.
Yeah, absolutely. How can residents really support the work of your committee?
Share. They need to talk. They need to share. And we like to hear the really good stuff, but if there's a bad experience, we need to hear that too. And if something isn't right when you receive it, you really need to say so right then. We can't fix it if we don't know right away what it is, and believe me, our staff wants it to be right. Honestly, it's such a pleasure after all those months of styrofoam to go to the dining room, have a beautiful warm china plate with well-presented food. That's a real treat.
Yeah, it's nice to hear real plates being picked up and knives and
Yes.
forks and everything banging and clanging, and it's a very sweet sound. And how can residents, if something were to come up where they want to continue to be involved, how are they able to get involved with your committee, with the culinary committee?
Well, we have 10 people now, and they're pretty, as I said, representative. But if somebody's really interested, I'd like to know, because we have people kind of come and go, and so our membership is fluid, and I'd like to know if there are people who are really interested. We now have a mix of new people and longer term people, and everybody's got a nice message to bring. So
Great.
talk to me about it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Mary, I thank you so much for your time and your input and your continued engagement in making our culinary experience top class.
It is, yes.
And you guys do a fantastic job. And one other quick thing for our viewers out there is if you do ever want to review any of the resident council minutes, those are also on Touchtown as well. So you can always review
Right.
those minutes from each month. So.
And every committee keeps pretty thorough minutes, I think, and shares them. So that's another way to be fully engaged.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you everyone again for joining us, and have a great afternoon.
Again, thank you for joining us here today. Always a pleasure to meet with you. And again, please mark your calendars to meet in person next week on June 2nd. Thank you.